Hello and welcome to today's International Pandemic Update video. We're going to discuss things that are going on not only in the States, a couple things about the States. We're also going to discuss Europe and the rest of the world, especially Singapore when it comes to the rest of the world. Alright, starting off here, France today reported 87,666 cases and 101 deaths. South Korea, 33,190 cases, plus 5 deaths. Italy, 58,357 cases, plus 113 deaths. Japan, 42,294 cases, plus 56 deaths. Russia, 9,474 cases and 91 deaths. Vietnam, 622 cases, plus 1 death. Australia, their winter wave has finally ended completely, and they're only down to 1,087 cases, plus 12 deaths. Even if they're missing cases, that's a heck of a lot better where they were. Taiwan, 44,884 cases, plus 33 deaths. And Austria, 8,970 cases, plus 2 deaths. Now we're going to look at some data from yesterday. The reason being, Germany is not updated yet for today. And I want to mention Germany, because Germany has been the center of attention, spotlight around the world. And there's some interesting stuff going on there. Germany, 150,054 cases, plus 209 deaths. Netherlands, 5,921 cases, plus 1 death. But there's some interesting news about Germany. Let's go to weekly trends. Germany cases are down 13%. And something interesting has gone on there. People are saying that since the ICU, remember the ICU admissions were going up there, and we'll get to that in a little bit, people have really started to put on their N95 masking there. And look what's happening. Their cases are starting to drop. Now, do I think they've hit the peak of their wave? Too soon to say, because as we know with weekend lag here on Worldometers, it tends to throw off the percentages. But I definitely do not think they're at the peak of their deaths. Their deaths are still going up, and here's the deaths change. Weekly death change, 39% up. Deaths in the last 7 days, 909. Deaths in the preceding 7 days, 656. I think there's a chance that could get as high as 1,500 in a 7-day period. As bad as that sounds, it could be coming. France, similar deal, up 32%. 445 deaths in the last 7 days. Deaths in the preceding 7 days, 337. Taiwan is actually down 2%, 337 in the last 7 days, 383 in the preceding 7 days. Italy's up 37%. 511 in the last 7 days, 373 in the preceding 7 days. Japan is down 23%, 379 in the last 7 days, 493 in the preceding 7 days. The United States, down 47%, so this is good. But mind you, that's really flawed because of weekend lag data. Last 7 days, 1,391. Previous 7 days, 2,621. And this total will go up in the next couple of days when we report our weekend lags. Austria is actually down 36%. 58 in the last 7 days. Preceding 7 days, 91. Singapore, 14 in the last 7 days. 10 in the last 7 preceding days. And remember, that is up 40%. And Singapore is definitely on track to have a relatively big wave at this time. We'll do one more. Belgium, 64 in the last 7 days, 47 in the preceding 7 days. And that is a change of 36%. All right, some news notes to share with you. BNO, Singapore reports 1,200 new coronavirus cases as a surge driven by the XBB variant. This is a new variant. This is very similar to the BQ.1.1 and the BQ.1 variant, as it is very immune evasion. So, this is driven by the XB variant. Continues. Number in the hospital reaches 661, up 35% from last week. Eric Topol here now reports on this as well in a tweet. The XBB variant wave in Singapore will soon be their second worst for the pandemic. The reinfection rate prior to the wave was 5% and now up to 17%, which tells us about the immune escape properties of this variant, akin to BQ.1.1, very high level of immune evasion. So it sounds like BQ.1.1 is higher than BQ.1. Take a look here at the daily new cases. They are literally going straight up in Singapore. And take a look at the hospitalized patients. It is rapidly starting to go up. All right, some more news to tell you about. NHS England preparing for what it says could be the toughest winter on record, with both COVID-19 and flu causing a large number of hospitalizations by Sky News. So remember all last year, like during the summertime and into the winters, coming into the winter of this year, they had high wait times of double-digit hours in England. Well, it sounds like it could be even worse this year. And they also had a backlog of people who needed transport from ambulances. So it's going to be a bad winter over in the UK and England. Now check this out. Over here in the States, COVID hospitalizations in New York State have reached 2,909, up 9% from last week and the highest since February. Cases, however, remain relatively low. And we reported on this in our New York State video and the daily updates, or the United States pandemic updates videos. And I can show you here at Walgreens, there is starting to be a positivity increase in New York State. It's up 2.1% to 34.7%. So the cases are gradually starting to increase. But if we come over here to the state dashboard, and mind you, this did an update for today? It just did. So 7.4% positivity. The positivity is starting to rise on a state level. That's not good. It's also indicating to us, and I'm just going to refresh this real quickly because the hospitalizations will likely have updated. I'm just seeing this for the first time. And whoa. So Friday was 2,731 people in the hospital. It is now 2,909 in New York State. And let's take a look at the hospital admissions. Okay, so the hospital admissions are not as high as they were last Monday. And that's because of the fact it was an extra day of lagged activity from the holiday last week. But still, 1,064, so it's going up. And let's just go back and look at the ICUs real quickly. Then we'll continue on with the rest of the world. Look at this. ICUs on Friday were 274. They're now up to 293. This video is not about New York, though. But the point is, the BQ 1.1 and BQ.1, it's causing more severe, possibly causing more severe outcomes in New York State. Definitely more symptomatic. And yes, there are definitely cases being missed, but with the positivity not rapidly rising as of yet, it's starting to. It's indicating that there's definitely more symptomatic cases. All right, take a look at the charts here. When we look at Germany here, we can see Germany has actually leveled off some and dropped slightly. Could that be weak and lag, or could they be possibly at the top of their wave? It's possible. France is still rising. Italy is dropping slightly. United States is still not rising yet. United Kingdom is ever so slightly rising, but not by much. Then you see Singapore here, which is still rising. And Canada, relatively flat. Now let's change this around, take a look at the variants. Unfortunately, they didn't add any of the new variants here. We can suspect maybe these other variants are some of the new variants, but we can't say for certain because when we look at Germany, other doesn't make up a large percent. Neither does it in Singapore, so can't really go by the variant proportions here on this. But what we do want to look at is ICU admissions. So we can see it here for 4 places. Germany, look at this. ICU admissions have pretty much topped out. But we can see the last few times this happened, it started rising again. And I suspect that'll happen. It may start rising again before it starts to drop. So they may be on the maybe last couple weeks of the high end of this wave, then it's going to drop somewhat. France, on the other hand, France is now going straight up. That's not good. Italy is starting to top out a little bit, and we saw that with the cases. Singapore, ICU admissions, they're not rising a whole lot. But going back to Germany real quickly, I mean, look how this has happened. Timed right with when people started masking relatively well again. That's a great thing. This shows you that N95 mask or better does work. The second everyone reverts back to masking, look what happens. It's not rising as fast. It's actually helping prevent the number of symptomatic cases. Yes, it's still really high. It's at high levels. It's at 1,500, but it's not rising as fast now and has leveled off. So that's good news, but I don't want to jump the gun here. Let's give it a couple more weeks and see what happens. And the states will probably eventually follow here. So to take away from all this, There are places where these subvariants are still rising around the world. The United States is about ready to get into its share of the action. We're seeing it in New York State. And one thing I forgot to mention, XBB variant was detected in the central region of the United States, in one of the states. I forget which one. It was just released about an hour ago. So it is coming here to the States and eventually will. Could it overtake everything, including BQ 1.1? There's potential. It could be the variant that we deal with around the holidays. So remember to continue masking. Stay safe, everyone. And if you want to see more stuff like this, hit the like and subscribe button down below. And thank you for watching. We'll do another international update as need be, probably next week. We will do a national United States pandemic update video at some point this evening. Alright, stay safe, everyone. Like and subscribe down below.